Wait, dang it. It's on preview.
Yes, it is.
Always.
My whole life is on preview.
Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
I'm just going to start with you like mid-sentence. That's what's good about happening. So, hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all. Episode 417, and we are not prepared. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay Parekh. I think that's always true. Not prepared.
Yeah. No, I mean we're prepared-ish. We're prepared light is what we are. We're
Prepared light. That's what I'm going to say from now on. Are you ready for things? No, I'm prepared light.
I'm prepared light. I'm sugar-free prepared is what I am. Like I'm not quite as prepared as like if it was full sugar, but I'm prepared-ish, prepared.
Prepared-ish.
Yeah, I'm prepared-ish.
That's my new company name, prepared-ish.
I like
Not
that.
really ready for things, but kind of.
Prepared-ish kind of sounds like a meal prep company, like prepared-ish. It's kind of prepared for you, but you still have to cook it. Ha ha, sucker.
Isn't that all the food companies that do
It's
that
prepared-ish.
stuff?
And you could spell it where it's like prepare dash dish. So prepare dish.
That's a good name, actually,
That's
for
pretty
a
good.
food delivery company.
I'm kind of liking it now. I feel like we can go with that.
Meal delivery. Let's start a meal delivery company. I think those go really well.
I knew a guy that owned one here in Atlanta, and it seemed like it was doing well, and then he just shut it down one day, just done.
It was doing well until it wasn't doing well.
It seemed like that. So I mean, I don't know. Who knew? I didn't know. So
that's what it seems like, that we're prepared, but we're not. So
it seems like this is doing well, but who knows? It's probably not. It's probably not doing well at all.
This
like
might be the last episode right here.
Yeah. We have a good episode for you today. We got some AI stuff, and then some more AI stuff, and then some innovation stuff, and then Weird Wacky, which is going to be epic and involves a 15-foot long sword. So who doesn't want to talk about that? And of course, Tech Breaks at the end, of which I'm just now realizing that I did not put mine in, and I'm going to have to scramble while we're talking to try to figure out what that is. So let's get started. What do you have for us first, Sanjay?
Prepared-ish, apparently. Anthropic is testing Mythos, its most powerful AI model yet. And people are losing their minds because they're worried about cybersecurity, and they're worried about all kinds of things. And we'll see how many other companies' stocks go down because of this. But I'll tell you from my side, I'm very excited about this because an even better model than the one that's really pretty awesome right now, bring it.
I am perpetually astounded by Claude, like just over and over again, just shocked by how much I can do and how good it is. And
I mean,
I don't even know.
Honestly, like at this point now, I just leave it on like max thinking, like the whole context with like the hardest levels of everything. And I just tell it to do stuff, and it's almost always right. Like there have been a couple of times in the last week that I'm like, hey, you're messing up here. Like this is not in the right order. Right. This is going to cause problems. And it goes, you're right. And I'm like, I know. And then it fixes it. So it's still not something that you can just let it go willy-nilly because you just never know. But now apparently you do know some things with this next story.
Well, I mean, and apparently this thing's, the new update might be good for cybersecurity, which is good for Anthropic because they leaked 500,000 lines of its own source code. Apparently there was like some debugging testing tool that got left into an update and directed back to a directory that had, I think it was 2,000 files and 500,000 lines of code in it or something like that.
Yeah.
And it had like a bunch of information about like future feature releases and like how it's going to run in the background and how it's going to do this and do that. And like, it's just all out in the open now.
Dream so that it can dream about things when you're not using it and come up with stuff, which is like, I need that. Come on. Dream some stuff for me.
Dream it up.
Dream big there, Claude. That was a big oops. And that was not a AI oops. It was a human
person. That's a human
issue
oops
right there.
Big time.
And the second time they've had big problems like this. So
yeah.
Somebody that's cackling about this, I'm sure, is the protagonist in the next story, which is OpenAI. They raised a record $122 billion at a $852 billion valuation. These numbers are just kind of ridiculous.
It's just funny money. It's not real. There's nothing real here. It's just funny money. It's fine.
But here's the thing, like, Anthropic is generating way more revenue than OpenAI at this point. I feel like I saw something, was it like 20, 30, 40 billion dollars in annual recurring revenue? It was something on that order.
Yeah.
And I think OpenAI is in the 3, 4, $5 billion ARR at this point. And it's like, wow, that seems low, right? Compared to Anthropic's money. So maybe that's why they needed to raise this big war chest, because they're like, another side little thing that I saw, I did not tag a story for this, but apparently it's becoming harder to sell off OpenAI shares. So these people that have done, purchases and things like that on the secondary markets for these private shares, they are now having a harder time unloading them because the momentum has now shifted towards Anthropic. And there's a lot more activity there. There's a lot more interest there. It's much easier to get Anthropic shares because trading is happening a lot more. Whereas OpenAI, nobody really wants those
Everybody loves
shares anymore.
Anthropic. I love Anthropic. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah.
Speaking of things people love, Google employees have a new AI tool called Agent Smith, which is an amazing throwback to the Matrix, of course. And apparently it's in such high demand internally that they had to like throttle its availability, which is hilarious and I guess not entirely surprising either.
But here's the thing. Agent Smith was a part of the bad guys.
Yeah, he was the main
Matrix.
bad guy. Not only was he a part of the bad guys, he was the main bad guy and the main bad guy because he was rogue code that became fully self-aware and separate from the computer matrix and then replicated itself across the whole thing and then took over the entire system.
Right. So Google's naming their things for evil stuff. I don't remember. What was their tagline a long time ago?
I think it was "Don't be evil." Which, okay, so this also segues into I think it was today or yesterday, I forget. Maybe it was yesterday. I finished the book "If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies," and it is an incredibly no, it was today I finished it. It's an incredibly compelling argument that super intelligent AI will ultimately kill all of humanity. And I mean, I find it very hard to argue with. So, that's fun. Loving that.
Fun times.
Yeah, I don't really have any solutions here other than we need a worldwide coalition to basically what they pointed out is like, look, with nuclear weapons, we came to the brink, the world got together, we did, we stopped ourselves from world annihilation. That's exactly what has to happen here. I'm like, okay, so it's been done before. That's cool. Let's hope it can happen again.
So basically you're saying the Amish were right.
I mean, to some degree, that's probably correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't sit around and listen to podcasts like this.
They're missing out. They're straight missing out.
They're missing out.
Yeah, they could get.
But this is our last episode, so you never know.
It's not our last episode.
I'm kidding. I know we're gonna get concerned emails from a bunch of people. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. Now we got a live episode coming up in 2 weeks.
We do. That'll probably be the last episode.
2 weeks from today. I mean, it's gonna be so bad. We're gonna how stand-up comics will like go into a thing and then they just absolutely bomb. Like just like silent crowd and it's just, like they're basically booed off stage. Like that is gonna be us. That's what's about to happen.
Yeah, so, it's gonna be awkward and uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and then I don't know what the audience is gonna feel, but it's gonna be awkward and uncomfortable.
Profoundly awkward because like you and I are like we're having a dialogue, but we're like people are gonna be watching us have a dialogue in like a room where we're like at the front of the room, right? And I don't know what we're gonna talk to them. Are we gonna I don't know what's gonna happen. So
and then I know some of them are going to try to like heckle us while we're talking, and it's going to be like this is not okay.
As long as it's a good heckle, I'm cool with it. So
I mean, maybe we need to bring water guns with us.
Ooh, yeah,
right.
I like that plan.
Yeah. So we will include a link in the show notes, by the way, if you want to register and attend this live session that's happening in a couple of weeks.
Come on down
and just participate in the uncomfortable.
A train wreck and a half. Just come on, see the train wreck. It's gonna be great.
I mean, so rarely in life do you get to plan to see a train wreck, a dumpster fire train wreck in life.
True, that's a good
this
point.
Time you get to. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talking about something that's a train wreck, maybe because why do you need this? I don't know. Why? Just start using it. Meta is running intensive AI training weeks for employees. Why don't they just use haven't they already
So
used AI? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
no, I get it. I think that your average team member, even at a tech company, is underutilizing AI to a massive degree. I think there are very few people that are as bullish about it as some of us are in terms of how we use it and how it supplements our day. So I think there's that. I also think this is why there are early layoffs in the tech sector. I mean, there's an article I didn't tag about, I think, was it Oracle or Salesforce? Somebody laying off like 200,000 people, but like they're bullish on AI, but they're laying off huge swaths because AI is doing the work of all of those people now, right?
Right.
So I think that's why we're seeing the layoffs in the tech sector, as that's the first, they're the early adopters of this, but even they are struggling to be early adopters, and I think that's what's behind it.
Yeah.
That's my take. All right,
exactly.
moving on. Next up, Trump administration unveils national AI policy framework. And I mean, it's things like, child safety and, energy stuff. And like, okay, that's fine. But it's not really dealing with like the major issues of like super intelligence.
How
like
we're all going to die because of it.
Yeah. It feels like what's happening is like, okay, there's this thing called a bomb. And then there's this thing called a nuclear bomb. And we're going to worry about these little bitty bombs that you can strap to the side of plane wings or whatever they're called. I don't even know. You can do, we're worried about the little bitty bombs. We're not worried about the big bomb over here. That's fine. They'll be fine without so. I mean, it's like, it just feels way too little to me. So that's.
I think in that comment, we just realized why AI is taking all the jobs, because you just said plane wings or whatever they're called. Plane wings.
This is the kind of thing.
Hey, can you strap them onto those plane wings over there?
This is the kind of thing you and I do in this show that's going to be really embarrassing to do in front of a live audience. Like this right? Like, I'm fine. I don't like the list. I don't have to see the faces of the people that are listening to this right now. Okay. But there's going to be like a room full of people shaking their heads like Adam is such an idiot in 2 weeks. That's what's going to happen.
They're not going to be shaking their heads. It's going to be crickets. And it's going to be this weird thing. You and I will be cackling up there, and the rest of the room will be crickets. And then we're going to look around and be like,
why aren't y'all laughing? And they're going to be like, you're not.
Are y'all still here?
Funny. That's what's like, you're not. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, something that wasn't funny, Supermicrocomputer co-founder charged with diverting $2.5 billion in NVIDIA AI chips to China.
Yeah.
So
that's
there, for like the last year and change, there's been this ban, and you can't export certain AI chips and things like that to certain countries, and NVIDIA stuff is obviously high on the list. And so not great. Supermicrocomputer, I feel like is pretty well. I know the name. Maybe it's because they're motherboards or something like that. So I mean, it's
kind of feel like their name
company.
is very like super micro compute. Like, that just feels like wrong. Like super micro, like, right? Those don't go together. I'm sorry.
Is that nano computer then?
It's a nano micro, maybe it'd be better. I don't know, something, but it just doesn't. No, I'm not
nano micro.
Yeah, the nano micro computer. That's what I'm gonna name my company.
And then Michael Scott will leave that and be like, the you can't see it computer company.
Yeah, you can't see it. So it's invisible computers. That's what invisible computers. Yes, that's what I'm gonna sell.
So incorporated by Invisible Computers running Prepared Dish.
Yeah. All right. Philadelphia courts will ban all smart eyeglasses. So you can't tell. Sometimes you can't tell when they're recording, though you really should be able to, because they should have a light on. And courts are supposed to be like all private and stuff. So they're gonna ban smart glasses.
I like how you described it like you've been to court so many times. Courts are all like, private and stuff.
Listen, I've been to court a lot of times. My mom was a judge. I've sat in courts a lot. And what's funny is,
and you're like, hey, this seems private and stuff. Should I be here?
What was funny is the mom that the version of mom that I experienced not in court versus the version of mom that was on the bench in court was very, very different. And like, you did not mess in the courtroom. Like, you don't mess around. Like, you're straight going to jail. Like, you don't want to, like, don't, no, don't speak. But outside the court, she was like super cool, you know? So, there you go. Yeah. I mean, I get it. But like, at the same time, I feel like there's so many ways to record, like subtly record things now, like banning smart, like, okay, you're gonna ban smart glasses, fine, but like, I'm sure there's a million pins that have video recording and other things that you like. So I mean, okay, like,
Yeah. But I think here's the thing. So I think they're instituting this, and I think they said in the article that if you do this and try to get away with it or something like that, try to bring this stuff in, it's considered criminal contempt of court.
yeah,
So
right.
I think instituting that and kind of making sure that that line is clear, and like, you know what, judges don't mess around when you're in contempt of court. Like, they will throw you in jail.
Yeah, no, they don't mess around, man.
And so, I think this is a good thing. Like, the things that they mentioned in this article about, you know, witness tampering or witness intimidation or jury tampering, all those kinds of things. Like, we should not allow these things if that's the case. And that's why a lot of times you'll see, like, instead of photos from a trial or something, you see these drawings, right, of the case or whatever, because they don't allow photography in there. By the way, how does one get into being a court
That is
cartoonist?
a really interesting career path. It's like, I want to be an artist and I want to sit and be horribly bored most of the time. That's the Venn diagram, really. Like, if you think about it, like, that's it. Like, so it's not, court is not fun. You don't want to be there.
Yeah, well, some people apparently do. And there you go. So, something that apparently wants to be everywhere and now maybe is, AI and bots have officially taken over the internet.
Yeah.
I think we knew this was coming because I can't do a CAPTCHA to save my life. And so if anybody's accessing the data, it's obviously not me. And I think I'm a human, so it must be the bots and the AI and all that.
I think
stuff.
it said there was an 8,000% increase in bot traffic to websites. And I was thinking about it, like, even just preparing these show notes, I'm contributing to that. Because like, now I just paste a whole slew of stuff into Claude, and I'm like, go to every one of these links and grab the episode or grab the article title, grab the URL, give me a summary of everything too. So I, like, as a refresher, so it does all that. And then give me the list of articles categorized by these categories with weird mark at the bottom. And it just goes to all the things and does all the stuff and gives me all the information. And it's amazing. So I'm a contributing factor. My apologies, but it is what it is.
I mean, I got to tell you, like, when I do Claude Code, a lot of times, like, I'm asking it to incorporate other services and stuff, and it's like, well, go figure it out how to incorporate this thing. So it goes and looks at all the docs and stuff. I don't read docs. Who reads manuals? I don't read manuals.
Nobody.
Manuals are for bots.
That's no fun. Yeah, man.
That should be a new URL.
That's a good T-shirt. Manuals are for bots. We have a good T-shirt.
We should make T-shirts for Tech.
We've said that over and over again. Manuals
are for bots. That's a great T-shirt. I think somebody would buy that.
Yeah.
At least one person would buy that.
Yeah, we'll see if we can.
Probably not two, but at least one.
Probably not two. No, you're right about that. Yeah.
Is it something else that people are buying, or maybe not buying? I don't know. Fannie Mae to accept crypto-backed mortgages for the first time.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, it depends on how much crypto you have backing it, right? I mean, if it's a whole lot of Bitcoin, like a whole lot, then sure, why not? You know, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I really don't get this. I think what they're trying to do is say, like, okay, you can use this as an asset to get the mortgage.
Yeah.
But you don't have to liquidate the asset, the crypto.
Yeah, but why would you? I mean, you don't have to liquidate
the crypto
other things
goes down in value, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's probably like you have to have a lot of it to back it. So if it
like
does
a
go down in value,
multiple of the thing.
That's what I would assume. Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're going to cover their losses. I mean,
because the volatility on, I mean, it has made major swings in the last year.
Yeah.
Way up to like cratering completely.
Yeah,
Bitcoin specifically. I'm not blanking on all the other crypto things because I'm sure some of them are doing well.
All right, so I'm going to read this next article title. and then we're going to talk about it. But then I have the greatest idea for someone to use.
Okay.
How to use this.
This,
Okay,
this will be another domain, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this should be in Weird and Wacky-ish, but it's amazing. So order sunlight whenever and wherever you want on demand. So there is a startup, and they're putting, I think it was 57 or 53 satellites into space. And theoretically, you can pull up your app and they're like, oh, it just got dark. I'm going to order sunlight to this location. And they've got like, the satellites have like huge mirrors essentially, and they'll reflect sunlight down to your specific location. And the idea being that, solar power farms, solar panel farms can get additional sunlight to get additional, energy. And that's kind of cool. So here's my idea. Okay. You ready for this?
Okay. And I'm also, we'll go back and I'm going to tell you why this is the dumbest thing ever, but go ahead.
That's okay. But after my idea. So here's my idea. I think there's got to be some couple that is getting married, and they need to get married by like after dark, like candles and all the other stuff. But then right when it comes to the vows, you order sunlight and boom, suddenly you're in a spotlight from the sky. And like, it's like, do you? Boom. Yes, I do. What's up, people? That's how amazing would that be? It'd be cool, right?
That would be pretty cool. I don't know if they can make a spot that's that small.
I choose to believe that they can. But I mean, even if it's the whole audience that's in the sunlight, that'd still be pretty cool.
Okay, I'll give you that for like special effect, because now, now that you've said this, what's going to end up happening is somebody that is like doing an event or a musician or something like that, they're going to totally use this.
Yes.
That's actually who they should market this to, not
super
to
cool.
solar panels.
Oh yeah, no, the solar panel angle's dumb. Way cooler for entertainment. Think about like you've got like some fancy
saving the
nonprofit
earth.
gala.
Let's not worry about that. Let's worry about just getting light.
We don't care.
Places.
You get some fancy nonprofit gala. It's all outside, and like right as it gets good and dark, it's like boom. Now it's daylight again. What's up, people? How awesome are we? We're super rich. Give us more money. So
we're a nonprofit. Yeah, we just burned a bunch of money on sunlight that would have come up in a few hours anyways, but we just got it now. So here's why this is dumb. Okay.
Yes.
In the article, they talk about like, the problems because you got, I don't know, things like clouds that can block the sunlight. That's a thing that clouds do. I don't know if you've noticed that before.
Yeah.
But we had this solution, and I don't know if you ever played SimCity a lot. I played SimCity a lot, right? One of the problems that happens in SimCity, not just Godzilla coming and like tearing through your city, is a misalignment of the energy that's getting beamed down. It destroys parts of the city.
About this.
Yeah. Why would you not just put the solar panels up there and then beam the energy, which then doesn't matter with the clouds and all that stuff?
Well, people are doing that too. That's way less fun.
Well, that's why this is dumb, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're doing this for the energy, like why would you just send the light and now you're going to confuse the birds. They're going to be all messed up. Like there's so many problems with this. Circadian rhythms are going to be off.
I think we've just unlocked a new level of wealth, right? Which is if you want to be able to sunbathe at midnight with your app, like that's the level, like you've made it when you can sunbathe at midnight. That's how you know right then. So anyway. All right.
Ooh, you're so tan. Oh, it's because I was sunbathing at 1 a.m.
at midnight. It's fine.
Like,
it's not a deal.
Oh, I ordered sunlight.
Not even in Alaska either. I was like other places.
Something else that is other places, apparently, humanoid robotics maker Sunday reaches $1.15 billion valuation. By the way, I just realized that this company, Sunday, should get together with Monday.com and then they should do something about Tuesday, I guess, or something, right? The Monday thing, the planning thing, and Sunday.
The robots.
Is there a Tuesday.com?
The Sunday robots will plan with Monday to attack Tuesday. Is that what you have in mind there?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's like, robots like clear the dishes and things like that. Like, okay, cool. These are the bots that'll kill us. We know. We've been there. We've done that.
Yeah,
we've seen it.
You're gonna buy them, they're gonna get into your house, and then all of a sudden they're gonna become super intelligent and you're gonna be dead.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm looking forward to it.
I think Tech Talk Y'all listeners are too smart for that.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
All right, Weird and Wacky segment. A man used AI to call 3,000 Irish bartenders to track the cost of Guinness. This apparently happened when he ordered a glass of Guinness. It was $9. He was like, this is crazy expensive. And so he built
£9.
Oh, £9. That's right. Yeah. So he built an AI, dialer bot to call and log all the information. And at least one pub has now updated the price of a glass of Guinness to more clearly match everyone else's price.
Right.
And apparently most people didn't know they were talking to an AI agent, which, I mean, if one calls out of the blue and is like, hey, how much is a pint of Guinness? Like, you wouldn't know you're talking to an AI
Right.
agent in that scenario. It's brilliant. I mean, this is a brilliant use of an AI agent. Honestly.
It's really, really smart because that's a lot of phone calls, and he was able to unleash them all. I think the AI had, or the voice chat agent had a Irish accent as well, and it was a whole thing, right? Like,
yeah.
This is a great way because it is not obvious, and apparently the UK government or the Irish government, I don't know which one it was now, used to track these and publish this, but they stopped at some point. And so now there's no way for the average consumer to know if they're over or underpaying for a pint of Guinness.
There you
smart. Go. There you go.
Nice.
Next up is the article that you were excited about and you kind of teased at the top.
Yeah.
YouTuber resolves fraternal disagreement with excavator and hilariously large sword.
Yeah.
So he fashioned how big of a sword was it? 9
I think it was 15 feet from hilt to tip. 15 feet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the most impressive part is the excavator, he replaced it and added a hand which holds the sword.
Fist, yeah. Right. Yeah. It was so cool.
And he went to his brother's, I think it was his brother's house or door, and like knocked on it with this big giant sword.
Yeah.
I don't know what the beef was about.
Yeah, I don't know. But being a YouTuber where you can do insane things like this and make great money doing it, it's got to be really empowering. It's like, oh man, I got to get my brother and mess with him. All right, here's the idea. We're going to buy an excavator and we're going to create a 15-foot long sword out of sheet metal. And we're going to put it in a giant fist on the end of the excavator. We're going to drive it up to his house right at his front door. That's a great idea. And everybody else in the world would be like, oh, that's such an interesting dream that you would do that. But YouTubers like, no, I'm doing it now. And they build the whole thing. Like, it's got to be crazy to be a YouTuber.
I mean, where does one even buy an excavator? Like, I wouldn't
if you're
even
a YouTuber,
know where
they probably just fall out of the sky. Honestly, that's probably what happens. They're just like randomly showing up at your door.
They just call their guy or gal,
and
be like, "Hey, can you drop off an excavator?" And
they have a procurement person, is what they do, right? Kind of like Morgan Freeman was in Shawshank Redemption. I hear you're a guy that can get things. They have their version of Morgan Freeman, and they're head of procurement. I need an excavator. I need a giant fist. I need a 15-foot sword. Go! And that's what they do.
And then they call up their people, and there you have it.
Next up, high-tech Olaf animatronic collapses mid-performance at Disneyland Paris. And if you looked at the photo, it's pretty obvious that this is going to happen. You have some very small, short, stubby legs.
Yep.
And a very top-heavy little animatronic Olaf. Of course he's going to fall over. But not only did he fall over and his nose popped off.
He lost his nose.
Which is very unfortunate and funny and very also kind of true to the movie. So it's kind of...
That's a good point, actually.
It's kind of the great... Listen, now, I don't talk about my kids often, and I won't say which kid, but my favorite thing that one of my kids has almost ever said, and they were very small at the time, apparently I was looking at them oddly. And the question was, why are you looking at me all Olaf face? Like that was like, I don't know what that means, but that was the question. And that quote goes around our house. Like, why are you looking at me all Olaf face all the time? All the time. That's going around the house. So
Olaf
that's
face.
What this reminded me. All Olaf. Why are you looking at me all Olaf face?
Yeah. I think he was trying to make a comment about your nose, but we'll leave it at that.
It could be. It's
there you
it's
go.
fine.
And last up in Weird and Wacky, April Fool's 2026, the most ridiculous tech pranks of the year. I will say, maybe I was just too busy. I didn't notice any pranks other than one of them that was on this, which was the Fortnite thing, because we did end up playing yesterday. And
what was the bit there? The big head? They were big
heads. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of annoying and dumb.
It's dumb.
But it was whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that they didn't mention in this, though, there was actually finger guns in Fortnite. Pew, pew, pew. and they were actually better than some of the other guns, and so we were using them quite a bit. So you
I like
actually
the,
missed out, Adam. You didn't play with us yesterday,
That's a
so
bummer. Yeah.
you
I
missed
like
out
the
the finger
Sony
gun.
controller that would play the games for you, so you could just kick back and relax while it played the games for you. Like that was a good one.
And just
I
watch it.
do often like the April Fool's pranks that tech companies put out. I just missed all of them yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been a sort of crazy sort of week.
Just
so
busy with stuff.
yeah, too many things going on.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck.
Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, you said it at the top. You didn't have one, but hopefully you have one by now. Adam, what do you
Yeah.
got for us this week?
So I'm gonna recommend an app that I just started testing out. It's a budgeting app called Copilot, and I use Monarch, and Monarch is fine, but I don't know if you ever have this issue where you start using an app and you're like, it just doesn't quite make sense. Like the way they lay it out, like it just like for whatever
Yeah.
reason, it just doesn't sync with how I think about things. And so I'm like, I need to start looking for some other budgeting apps that like maybe just make a little more sense to me. So far, Copilot looks interesting. It's similar to Monarch, but it feels like it's got like a little bit of a simpler sort of layout to it, simpler user experience. So yeah, if you're looking for a budgeting app, Copilot, I think it's an interesting option to try. So do you use a budgeting app or any kind of tools like that?
I used to be, this tells you how long ago this was, Microsoft Money. I was a
Wow, okay.
solid user
Wow,
of that
all
for
right.
like
Yeah.
a decade or more.
Yeah. Okay.
Until they finally shut it down. And
Yeah.
then, I don't know, things just kind
Nothing.
of fell off after that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah, fair enough.
make sure you spend less than you make. Like that's the goal.
Yeah, that's a
right?
good way to
If
go.
you do that, you're good.
I'm a big fan of that. The other thing I'm also a big fan of is changing the Amazon password so no one else in the family has access to it. That's a good one too. So
That is a good one, actually.
I may or may not have done that recently.
I might need to do that one as well.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. All right, Sanjay, what do you have for us this week?
So I stumbled upon this little tool and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I think it foretells of a lot of things of like this kind of stuff, but also just even the app that you just talked about. So first of all, the app is called Paracord, Parachord. Basically, the app is a combiner of all your music sources. So you can combine Spotify with local music, with YouTube, with SoundCloud, and just listen to music instead of worrying about where the music is. Like, quite honestly, I've got a huge collection of ripped CDs that I now never
Oh.
listen to because I always
Yeah.
listen to Spotify and I don't think
Yeah.
about listen. But now this unifies all of them. So here's the interesting thing. This is an offshoot of an app called Tomahawk that was a music player that then became basically not managed and not
Yeah.
updated, open source.
Right.
So this person used Claude to create a new player, which is so good and so impressive. It's also open source. I think
Nice.
we are now getting closer and closer to a golden age of open source software where people
Yeah.
build software or build it off of other software
Yeah.
and then just release it because it didn't take them any time really to do most of it. They just built it with AI using kind of the ideas that they had in their head. And I got to say, like, this is a pretty cool app. I've seen some issues with it. It's not functionally perfect. And sometimes it like hangs up and things like that, but it's a neat idea and I kind of dig it.
I mean,
there you
but-
go.
So that brings to me the idea, and I had not considered it until you just said it, but like, there's a real scenario where I could potentially look at open source software and be like, oh, I really wish it did this, or I could use this as a basis to do this, and this.
Yep.
And then just have Claude take the open source software and just do all of those things.
Yep.
Like I never even thought about that, which is, I don't know, that's kind of interesting. I'll have to
Yeah.
give that some serious
Well,
thought.
there's another one that we didn't tag, but I think I might have shared it, but there is a new blogging software called M-Dash that is supposed to be the spiritual successor to WordPress. And it's been totally rewritten and it's got like security with the plugins and things like that. And it was written by Cloudflare completely with AI using WordPress as a model, using none of WordPress's code, but building a whole new system off of it. Right. And it took it a few days or whatever it is. And then there you go. Right. Like,
Dude,
it's
so-
amazing kind of the time that we're living in now. And I think there's going to be a proliferation of software and solving problems that previously like could have been solved, but it wasn't a big enough deal to solve it. But now people can just solve those things for themselves and
why
move
not?
things forward. So
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I like that. All right, Sanjay, how can the listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjaypark.com. What about you, Adam?
They can find me on my website, adamjwalker.com. It's got all the links and all the things, and you should go there right now. What are
And
you doing? Go there
Y'all
right now.
can find both of us in a couple of weeks at the live recording. We'll drop the link in the show notes. Register it up. If you're here in Atlanta, there's no reason not to come.
Sanjay's already said if there's more than 50 people there, he's going to wear a pink tutu. That's what he said.
No,
So,
I never said
pink
that.
tutu
I'm pretty
coming to you.
You're the
Sanjay
one that's
style.
worn pink tutus
What's up?
before.